Too many things are going this way. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do that. Even down to my travel, I'm like, ooh, if it's like off, that flight ain't for me, or this ain't for me. Like,
you know, so then that was kind of like a hold up. You know what I'm saying? What's going on here? And
did that make you want to be a rapper more, or make you want to make more money to get it back?
Nah.
No.
I'm not with him.
No. Oh.
Yeah. Not by choice, but, I respect them.
Not by choice. That's all Angela Simmons said when somebody asked if she was single. And honestly, those 3 words said everything. You just knew that she was talking about Yo Gotti. Crazy part though, fast forward to now and the cables have flipped. Gotti's the one chasing her again, begging for her back after GloRilla humiliated him live in front of everyone. What IG didn't show, the expensive gifts, late night calls, and rumors that had Angela quietly pulling away months before that live stream. Y'all remember when Yo Gotti put his crush on blast, right? Let's rewind a little bit back to 2015 when he dropped "It Goes Down in the DM, It Goes Down" that line where he straight up said, "And I just follow Angela Simmons. Boy, I got a crush on Angela Simmons." They're like, dang, Gotti, you bold. F it, I'ma let the world know. Ghost, he wasn't even subtle about it, y'all. Dude put his crush on blast in front of the whole world and people loved it. It became this running thing where Gotti was shooting his shot at Angela Simmons. Rev Ron's daughter, hip hop royalty, she was basically untouchable. And here's this Memphis rapper openly saying, yeah, I want it. From a rap bar to a real life romance. But what happened next shocked everybody. Everybody knows that by 2023, they weren't just rumored, they were it. They finally went Instagram official and Angela posted this gorgeous photo of them together with the caption, "You're all I need." It looks solid from the outside and many insiders say that this picture perfect image was already cracking. People were calling them hip-hop's grown couple goals, like finally a mature celeb relationship that wasn't messy. But you know how Instagram be lying sometimes. Behind all those perfect photos, stuff was allegedly falling apart. Word in the story is that Angela was starting to feel like she was the only one really trying. One insider even said Angela felt like she was putting in more effort than she was getting back. Yo Gotti's schedule was nonstop, and she started feeling like she wasn't a priority. And that makes sense, because Angela is not just some plus one. She's running Fashion Minds, fitness brands, and she wanted stability, not just public appearances. Meanwhile, Gotti's label CMG was blowing up. Then GloRilla, one of his artists, was everywhere. After F&F Blue, she was in the studio with him constantly at parties, just around. At first, people brushed it off as business, but you know how it goes. Whispers turned into rumors, and rumors turned into headlines. And next thing you know, folks are accusing Gotti of getting too close to GloRilla. And then came the bombshell. GloRilla went on IG Live and basically embarrassed him. And suddenly, Gotti's out here looking like he lost everything. Angela, the couple goals image, all of it. But it's wild when you think about it. The whole thing started as a fairy tale, a rapper's fantasy that actually came true, and now it's one of the messiest breakups the internet's seen in a minute. But here's where things get really shifty, y'all. This whole Gotti and GloRilla thing has been loud, even without Glo saying a word. See, the internet has already been side-eyeing the situation. First, Gotti wasn't treating her like an artist on the label. No, this man was out here dropping gifts like a man trying to lock something down. Remember when he pulled up with that brand new Maybach truck for her birthday? Yes, y'all, a whole Maybach. Not a little bouquet of flowers or some congrats cake, a $200,000 luxury SUV with a big red bow on it. She hopped on Instagram talking about "you're the burst." Y'all, she was cheesing so hard you'd think that she just got proposed to. And when fans were going crazy in the comments like they effing, because to them, this wasn't regular CEO type of behavior. And then, just when people thought it couldn't get any louder, boom, he hit her with the AP Audemars. I'm talking about the 18-karat spaghetti Royal Oak, $65,000 on her wrist. And this wasn't just a flex on other labels, that was a flex on everybody watching.
Yeah! Let's go! Yeah, AP.
But here's the thing. You don't just throw up M-bags and diamond watches unless it's real investment. You feel me? People started piecing it together like, wait, is this just business or is there something deeper here? One even commented, oh, she looks pretty. He buys her the nicest gifts and always speaks highly of her in his interviews. And honestly, he does. Anytime he talks about her, it's like he's bragging about his star pupil, but also like a proud man who's watching this girl win. And it wasn't just gifts. Gotti was showing up for her. He popped out at her birthday bash in Memphis, performed right alongside her, hyping her up like #1 fan. And this wasn't typical quietly handed business move. He made it clear to everyone that he was openly supporting her. So even though GloRilla never came out messy, never threw shade at Angela, her presence was loud enough. Loud enough that people started whispering, wait a minute, if he's doing this for Glo, what does that mean for Angela? Because y'all, actions speak way louder than words. And Yo Gotti's actions, they had everybody talking. And while all this was happening, Angela was posting something entirely different on her IG story. She dropped this gem. I want what wants me in life in all areas. What flows, flows. What goes, goes. And that's not just some random inspirational quote. That's a woman quietly tapping out like, I'm not about to fight for a man who's too busy providing his loyalty somewhere else. And what's more, an insider even said, Angela's not the type to get all jealous and insecure. That's just not her vibe. But at the same time, she's not dumb either. She's not going to ignore little red flags, even if it's just rumors floating around. She just wanted more, more reassurance, more of his time, and more effort from Gotti. So when the little breakup finally hit the fan and GloRilla clowned Gotti on IG Live, leaving him looking lost, everything started to make sense. All those picture-perfect posts, just smoke and mirrors. Now God is the one scrambling to win Angela back, while everybody else is watching like it's the hottest reality TV show. But the real twist? Angela's silence. No rant, no shade, just calm. And sometimes that says more than words ever could. But if y'all were expecting Angela to drag Gotti through the mud, you gotta be disappointed, because that's not her style. She didn't rant on live. She didn't throw no subliminals on IG. Instead, months back, she dropped what might be one of the most graceful gut punches ever. When Angie asked her if she was single, Angela smiled back, took a beat, and said, not by choice, but I respect them. Some stuff is better left unsaid. Again, much love and respect to him. He's doing his thing. I'm happy for him. At the time, people called it classy. Some even said it sounded like closure. But now, after GloRilla's viral I don't need naughty moment and whispers of Gotti privately trying to win Angela back, those words feel different. Not by choice? That hits like a quiet revelation. Like maybe she wants this to work out and he fumbled it. And some stuff is better left unsaid. Fans are connecting them dots and arguing that she knew way more than she let on about Glo, about the label drama, about everything. Fast forward to today, with insiders saying Gotti's been reaching out behind the scenes, and Angela's old interview certainly plays like a warning. She walked away with dignity, and now he wants her back. He's up against a woman who's already learned to live without him. And Angela's calm little mic drop on Angie Martinez's show didn't seem like much at the time. But now in the aftermath of GloRilla publicly dumping him on live, fans are pulling them clips up and back. And this is where it gets even messier. Blogs are buzzing that Gotti's trying to make his way back in, calling her, sending flowers, and even using mutual friends to smooth things over. And some sites are even saying that he's been all over her Instagram like an old post, which, let's be real, is the classic I miss you move in 2025. And the internet, they're eating it up. A whole crowd is clowning him, saying he went from chasing his dream girl to crawling back in embarrassment. And then there were ones urging Angela to leave him alone, calling it nothing more than a desperate ex moment. But of course, the hopeless romantics is still out there, rooting for him, pointing out that they spent years chasing her, so maybe he deserves a second shot. But either way, it's wild, because Gotti went from looking like the boss who got his dream girl to looking like the guy who fumbled her. And now he's scrambling just as his thing with Glo crumbles in public. But y'all, why is Gotti suddenly out here looking like he ready to crawl back to Angela? Well, because honestly, it's not just about losing her. It's like this whole empire is just shaking right now. We're hearing whispers, and I mean whispers about a possible RICO case brewing around his CMG label. Ever since that Young Dolph murder trial started making headlines again, Gotti's name keeps popping up in conversations. Nobody in the industry wants to be a part of it. Nothing confirmed, but you know how it goes. Where there's smoke, there's usually something cooking. But now, put yourself in GloRilla's shoes. She's the one of the hottest new rappers out, and she's got festivals, endorsements, all that. The last thing she wants is to get dragged into some messy legal drama tied to her label boss. No wonder she hopped on live and basically said she's dirt. It's like she's trying to protect that bag before things blow up. But Angela's got a lot going on. She's a mom, she's a mamanita, running businesses and building a brand rooted in health, fitness, and positivity. Getting tangled up in a situation involving Rico whispers and messy public drama isn't exactly on her bingo card. That polite, respectful image and message that she put out felt like a clean exit. A quiet way of saying she's steering clear of the chaos. Meanwhile, Gotti shaking in his boots. He's single, possibly losing his biggest artist and scrambling to maintain his image. But the twist? The guy who once flaunted finally winning over his longtime crush now looks like he's desperately trying to hold on to her as the whole internet watches the downfall unfold. But y'all, here's where it gets real juicy. Because word is saying that Yo Gotti's been pulling out all the stops to win Angela back. Like desperate moves you wouldn't expect from him at all. We're talking flowers showing up at her door, long late night calls that go unanswered, and even him trying to set up these secret just us sit down so they can talk things through. But guess what? Angela's not budging. She's been pouring herself into her businesses, focusing on raising her son, and if you pay attention to her moves lately, she's been glowing in a way that screams unbothered. And some people even whisper that she might be entertaining new suitors on the low. But whether that's true or not, the message is clear. She's not waiting around for Gotti to get it together. And that's where it all blew up, because GloRilla's fallout with Gotti made him look super weak in front of everybody. And once the internet clocked it, oh, they ran with it. When your own artist outs herself on live, that's bad enough. But when your own woman, the one you chased for years, the one you finally got, refuses to take you back, that's a double L. And honestly, fans are split right down the middle. Some are clowning him like, bro, you finally realizing what you lost, while others are holding out hope for a reunion, saying maybe love will pull them back together. But me, I ain't buying it. This doesn't feel like some romantic movie moment. This feels like a man watching everything around him crumble. His label drama, his artist drama, and clinging to Angela because she's the only one that was once a stable piece in his life. But y'all, nobody really knows about Angela's next move. She's been ghosting Gotti, yes, and hasn't said a word about the GloRilla drama. But honestly, she seems more focused on her son and her business. And the kind of silence is screaming something. If she keeps ignoring him, we could be looking at one of the most public heartbreaks hip-hop has seen in years. And then there's Glo. She's pulled back too, leaving him stuck in the middle of this mess that he sort of created himself. First, he's out here manifesting Angela for the world to see. Then he gets dumped in front of millions. And now he's chasing someone who's already moved on with her life. Looks like the whole down in the DM, it goes down type of love story is the one rapped about like it was a fairy tale might be closing that last chapter. And you know, everybody in hip hop is watching to see if he can bounce back after such a public downpour. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. When love, loyalty, and legacy collide in this world, nothing just fades quietly. And Angela's silence is what's going to decide how people remember this whole saga. And next time, we'll spill exactly how Angela responded